Welcome back, YouTube people. My name is Howie with PokemonKing.com, and this is our Monotype Battle series. So what we're going to do in this series is that we're going to make a team out of all one type. In this case, our first one is going to be a Grass-type team. Now, I chose all Pokemon that are OU or below, and no Ubers. But I tried to mix in some of the lower tier Pokemon, for example, Leavanny, Jumpluff, Cradily, and Simisage. Roserade's even a lower tier. The only really good Pokemon on my team, as far as Smogon is concerned, is Mega Venusaur. So looking at my opponent's team, he has a Blastoise, which should be easy to handle. The Mawile could be a little bit of a difficulty. The camera up is really going to be a problem for our team, but he is neutral to all of our stabs, and we should outspeed him with most of our Pokemon, so that should help. The Staraptor is another one that's going to be a big issue because if it's Choice Scarf, there's a large possibility that Brave Bird could just get through our entire team virtually. So we're going to have to be very careful about that. Cradily is probably our best chance to check that option. And aside from that, let's go ahead and select our team. I'm going to open with Leavanny, and you'll see why. And the rest of the team can follow in any order as we start the battle. Okay, so my opponent is Julianne, and we'll see who she leads with. I'm guessing it could probably be the okay, so it's the Staraptor, so it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting the Galvantula to open up. Regardless, we are Focus Sashed. And unfortunately, we don't have anything that can hit this even for neutral damage, so our best choice right now is to just go for Sticky Web. And we're going to have to let Leavanny die because we have nothing that can switch into a Brave Bird, which I assume is going to be Choice Banded or Choice Scarfed. The Brave Bird is going to come through, and we see that he outspeeds. We actually see that he does not outspeed. He does not outspeed because we got down our Web first. So this is actually good news for us because we can come out with a Leaf Storm for at least neutral damage. As I change the display back to just the upper, we can get some damage up before we die, and it'll bring it more down to a one-hit KO range for Cradily when he comes in. And in fact, we get the crit, so that is huge. So we get the Staraptor to go down before we even before he even has an opportunity to take out one of our Pokemon. The way that he played that was a little bit interesting. If it were me, I probably would have saved the Staraptor for later in the battle because I know he can clean up towards the end. What he basically did was he tried to implement a sweep at the beginning of the battle, and his best choice there probably would have been to go ahead and hold off. I'm just going to go for Magic Coat to bounce back his Sticky Web right here in case he wants to use it, and that will coax him into just attacking me to take me out, so that whatever I bring in, at least, will not have to deal with the Sticky Web at that point. Okay, so my opponent does go for Slash, using a physical move on a Electros. For all of you newer battlers out there, is not usually a great idea. And the reason for that is Galvantula is heavily specially based, and takes it's not going to do a lot of damage with any physical type attack, in particular Slash. Odds are my opponent's team is probably just the team that he used to play through the game, but that's okay because we are Monotype, and because we are Monotype, we have significant disadvantages. Now, this is bad because we get the special defense drop, which means that Bug Buzz, which probably would not have 2-hit KO'd, barring a critical hit, will now have a good chance to KO me. And with that information, it's probably going to be prudent for me to go out into something that can take that Bug Buzz a little bit better. And I'm thinking that my Roserade is my best option because it has really good special bulk. People forget that sometimes. Actually better bulk than my Venusaur, albeit lower hit point. So either my Roserade or Venusaur is probably the best choice to come in here. We did get our Stealth Rocks up, which was important. Stealth Rocks and Sticky Webs and Spikes are all great entry hazard moves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Roserade. And the reason I use Sticky Web, and the reason so many people, if you're not really a major competitive battler, you see so many people use it, is because it lowers all opponents' Pokemon speed when they come in by one stage. As my opponent goes for Thunderbolt, which doesn't do a lot because it is resisted, Kind of an interesting choice there, considering I'm a monograss team and everything that I have will resist the Thunderbolt. But Sticky Web is great because it basically means middle speed tier Pokemon will have an opportunity to outspeed fast Pokemon on your opponent's team. And while winning the speed battle is not the end-all be-all, and teams can be built a little bit slower, no problem, it is still very, very useful to outspeed your opponent whenever you possibly can. And it also hinders a lot of fast threats that are considered quote-unquote glass cannons. For example, Greninja comes to mind as a Pokemon that really does not appreciate being slowed down by Sticky Web. And additionally, the Stealth Rocks and Spikes damage that's going to accumulate on his team on the switches is going to help me a lot to sweep later in the battle. Now, we have an option here. We can go for an attacking move, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to opt to get our final layer of Spikes down, because then we're looking at Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and 3 layers of Spikes, and that sets us up great for later in the battle. Even though we're down 2 Pokemon at this point to 1 to my opponent, or 5 Pokemon to 4, depending on how you look at it, we now, going forward in the battle, as long as we can handle the Galvantula, are going to have a considerable leg up, since we have all of our offensive Pokemon, Venusaur, Jumpluff, and also Simisage in the background. So all of those Pokemon can do a lot of damage. They will probably outspeed my opponent's Pokemon, and additionally the cumulative damage is going to make us more likely to score KOs that we wouldn't have otherwise from the Stealth Rocks and from the Spikes. Because my opponent went for the Bug Bite and not the Bug Buzz, we actually do have an opportunity to take out this Galvantula with our Cradilly with a second Rock Slide. And that's good news for us, as he comes through with a Thunderbolt, which we're going to resist because we are Grass type. As long as the Rock Slide connects, which is not a 100% accuracy move, and it does, we are going to be able to take out the Galvantula and level the score at 4-4 with all of those aforementioned entry hazards now on the field. Plus, the major threat in Staraptor is gone, so the only thing we really have to worry about now is Camerupt and how we're going to manage him. And I think Mega Venusaur will do a decent job of that. Okay, so the Blastoise comes out. The Sticky Web is going to lower his speed, so I'm interested to see now if Cradilly, who is typically a very slow Pokemon, will outspeed Blastoise, which is also typically a very slow Pokemon. Now you see how beneficial Spikes and Stealth Rock can be. With 3 layers of Spikes and the Stealth Rock, that is already more than 1/3 of Blastoise's hit points gone as soon as he enters the field, and we don't even have to use an attack. The Aura Sphere does come through. We do see he outspeeds us, and that will not be able to take us out because it is unstabbed. And for the record, Cradilly is a very, very specially defensive Pokemon. So even though that attack was super effective, coming from a Blastoise, which has good special attack, it was not enough to take us out. And in fact, after the Giga Drain recovery, we're going to be able to take that one more time and take out his Blastoise, which is also good news. So the Aura Sphere comes through, and judging by how much damage it did last time, it should not take us... Okay, so it does take us out because it is a critical hit. I was going to say unless it's a critical hit. So a little bit of a bummer there, but still it's okay because whatever we bring in, we'll be able to take out the Blastoise anyway. And I'm going to go in with Simisage, because Simisage is my best mid-game quote-unquote sweeper. He does a lot of damage in the middle of the battle. And we're going to be able to hit this Blastoise with Speed Bomb. We have great coverage with Acrobatics and Low Kick as well, so we can dish out more damage to whatever comes in, even if it is that Mega Camerupt. Or we don't know if it's Mega actually, but if the Camerupt comes in, we can do good damage to that with the Low Kick, because Camerupt is a very heavy Pokemon. However, I'm interested to see if Speed Bomb would do more damage. I'm interested to see, because it is also neutral, because Camerupt is ground type, and it's stab as well. So I don't know how heavy Camerupt is, because of course Low Kick's power increases the heavier the opposing Pokemon is. But I think Seed Bomb is the safer bet right now, since I don't know how heavy Camerupt is. And again, that is going to be neutral damage. It's not going to be enough to take out the Camerupt, but you saw how close that was to KOing. Simisage is obviously going to go down to the Flamethrower. So we are down to our last 2 Pokemon, but we're still in decent position because we do have our main sweeper in Jumpluff, which I don't think my opponent knows how big of a sweeper he actually is. And that's actually who I'm going to go out into right now, is Jumpluff. I'm going to attempt to set up a sweep with our shiny pink Jumpluff, by coming out first with a sleep powder to put camera up to sleep. And as long as it can connect, which it does, thankfully, we are going to be able to then set up a sword stance. People underestimate how much damage a Jumpluff can do after a sword stance. Typically, they see it as a support Pokemon, typically running Encore, and I don't know if it gets Tailwind, but other support moves in that vein, they don't see it as an offensive threat. And that can really be to your advantage if your Pokemon is not expecting the sweep to be coming through. Luckily, Camera Up does not get the one-turn sleep, so we are going to be able to take him out now with a Seed Bomb. Jumpluff is the second Pokemon on our team without an item. It runs the Acrobatics, which is higher base power if you are not holding an item. If you're holding an item, it makes your Pokemon quote-unquote heavier, and the idea is that will lower the base power of Acrobatics. However, Acrobatics still does hit very, very hard, pretty much everything else. The Mawile does come in, and we get the Sticky Web to lower speed. I'm just realizing now that this Pokemon will resist both of our attacks, so we are going to have to put it asleep because I don't think we can one-hit KO with Acrobatics or with Seed Bomb right now. As we see, the Mawile is the Mega for my my opponent's team. You did get to enjoy the Mega Mawile evolution, which is very scary and very beautiful at the same time. Sleep Powder does not let us down, and we will be able to put the Mega Mawile to sleep. And now we're going to get the opportunity to see how much damage a Acrobatics can do. I also noticed that we did not see the Sucker Punch, which probably would have been revealed because he knows we're going to outspeed him, so we're not going to have to worry about Sucker Punch coming through at any point. Now we noticed that Acrobatics is not doing enough to KO with one more attack. It's going to take two more. So instead of attacking here, which I could well do, I'm just going to go for the Sword Stance because after one more boost, Acrobatics will be strong enough to take out the Mawile, and then whatever comes in after the Mawile will take more damage because our attack will be +4 instead of +2. If you don't use boosting moves like Sword Stance and Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, you should really look into them if you're just beginning to be a competitive battler. These moves are very, very useful. I know when you're going through the game, you just want to do as much damage as you possibly can, and that is understandable. But when you're playing against other battlers, and it's 6 versus 6, and each of you have a well-crafted team, these moves are very important to competitive battling and fill very specific roles. The Sceptile does come out as my opponent's final Pokemon, and we are going to outspeed him now because naturally Jumpluff is very fast, and plus taking into consideration Sticky Webs, lowering Sceptile's speed tier. The Acrobatics comes through and takes out Sceptile easily, and that is our mono grass type team. So I think Erica would be proud of us. We did do very well against a team that was built out of different typed Pokemon. And keep watching the series. We're going to do this for each type. So there's going to be, I think there's 16 or 18 types. And come back for more. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and subscribe. Watch for the giveaways that we do and follow all of our social media. We do as many giveaways as we can for our loyal followers on all forms of social media. Also check out PokemonKing.com. We have some awesome Pokemon related products, including fully loaded video games that you want to see as well. So thank you very much. Drop a like, subscribe, and we'll see you for the next battle. Thank you.